Hello, this is Colin McClean from colinmclean.com. And in today's employment segment, we'll be covering, furthermore, the resume. How to look good on paper, part 2. I once had a client who gave me a resume and was handwritten. Yes, it did stand out, but in the eyes of an employer, it wasn't good. It showed that he lacked computer skills. I must say, my resume also needed work. It was actually dying. And here are 3 things that I did to get my resume from the garbage pile to the interview pile, but making it look better. 3 things are as follows. Number 1, I had to know my skills. You see, I couldn't just be the kind of person that played small and said I did any kind of work, because by doing that, it wouldn't serve my family and it wouldn't pay my outstanding bills which were piling up. I had to actually become a master salesman, knowing what I could offer an employer and communicate that on paper to at least get it to the next stage of the hiring process. The second thing I did to get my resume looking more attractive was I got additional help. I reached out to someone who had great communication skills to work on my resume. You can also pay to get it done professionally, or you could go to a community employment program that specializes in creating resumes, and their services are free. The third thing I did was I actually helped the helper. What I mean by that is I didn't just give my resume to the person helping me. I actually worked with them hand in hand, close, and I communicated my skills, which I became professional at in selling myself. I also gave them job postings I was qualified for, and all that led to the creation of the master resume. Master resume was covered in the episode prior to this, but I digress. By doing all these 3 things, I was able to get my resume looking more attractive to employers, as well get it from the garbage pile into the interview pile. Just to recap, the 3 things I did to make my resume more attractive to an employer were as follows. 1, I knew my skills and how to communicate it clearly on paper to an employer. 2, I got additional help with my resume from someone who had better communication skills than I did. Last but not least, the third thing I did was I helped the helper with the resume, working with them and making them understand what my skills were and communicating that clearly on paper for the employer to see. Well, I hope this episode helped you understand about getting your resume more attractive for an employer to get you to the next stage of the interview. This is Colin McClean signing off. As I always say, keep moving forward and looking upwards.